So it turns out the internet is pissed that Wednesday and Enid are not a romantic couple in Wednesday Season 2. And by the internet, I mean a handful of journalists who, use their time writing to propagandize and politicize anything and everything in sight for more representation. So welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol. And yeah, look, if this was just one article, I wouldn't have said anything, wouldn't even made a video on it, but it's at least two articles, and I didn't have to look hard to find them. They were both very in my face, with at least one of those articles trying to use any and every opportunity to prove that this is what the fans want. So we're going to get into this before we do hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day, and yeah, from IGN first and foremost, Netflix Wednesday continues to completely misunderstand the source material in Season 2. The Jenna Ortega star vehicle has failed the basic assignment. Now, as I recall, everybody, IGN included, loved Season 1. And guess what? Secret time. Not really a secret, by the way. Your boy did too. I liked Season 1 a lot. It was never something that I imagined I would enjoy because, frankly, I actually am quite an Addams Family fan. I really enjoy the comic strips, the movies, the original cartoons, especially when they meet up with Scooby-Doo. So, was I interested in the idea of a Wednesday show? Definitely. But also, I know how modernity works and all these modern adaptations. Also, yes. So when I watched Wednesday Season 1, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed it. Like, that was a really solid, fun show. And it's not supposed to be the Addams Family. It's called Wednesday. It's about her. And frankly, I think Jenna Ortega does a fantastic Wednesday. So I couldn't wait for Season 2. I haven't started Season 2 yet, hoping to get through it, at least parts of it, this weekend, between the streams and videos and whatnot. But I saw this particular, article, and we're being generous calling it that, on X, and thought, well, this is really interesting. How does it misunderstand the source material? And they really try and make it like it misunderstands the source material, but it doesn't. Really what this entire article is just them bitching that Wednesday isn't gay. Look no further than, but before they do that, by the way, they had to throw shots at J.K. Rowling, even though she has nothing to do with the show or the Addams Family or Netflix or anything like that. But even so, instead of inhabiting the Addams Family's dilapidated mansion, Wednesday is sent to Nevermore Academy, ostensibly Hogwarts for magical monsters with significantly less financial support from transphobe billionaires. Like, they're trying to say, oh, Wednesday doesn't follow the source material because instead of being in the Addams Family mansion, she's at Nevermore Academy. Also, let's use this as an excuse to throw shade at J.K. Rowling. Peak journalism, guys. Peak journalism. But the real crux of this is this article right here, or this excerpt right here. By the way, take note of all the capitalization and what's supposed to, I guess, signify as yelling. Look, maybe I'm just an old head. Maybe I don't understand the new hip Gen Z lingo. But if you're typing on X and you want to capitalize stuff to prove a point, go for it. I do it all the time. But in an article that's, in theory, supposed to be taken seriously as part of some larger idea of journalistic integrity and, being unbiased, this doesn't work. That's the big emotional hole at the center of Wednesday, which attempts to fill with the entirely platonic relationship between the extremely straight and heterosexual Wednesday and Eden, who both have multiple romantic interests who are men. Okay? Not okay. You threw a lot at me just then. I mean, all right, let's take this down a notch. Entirely platonic, in all caps, as if that's a problem, as if, 95 to 97%, maybe even more of, the world population, dare I say, even more in the animal kingdom, are not entirely platonic and straight, extremely straight and heterosexual. Again, I default to the entirely platonic part because, yes, while I would say the majority of people are platonic, the vast majority, within that subcategory, the majority of those platonic people are also straight, minus, what is it, 2-3% of gay and lesbians or whatever, and let's not even acknowledge all the made-up stuff that doesn't exist, who both have multiple romantic interests who are men. Do you know how these teen dramas go in terms of writing? Like, did you ever see Gilmore Girls or One Tree Hill? Like, most of these teen dramas are very much about have multiple different suitors or relationships or whatnot that go throughout them. Like, it's wild to me that everything, again, I don't know if Season 2 is good or not. I'm hoping it is. Like I said, I plan on watching it this weekend. But from what I've heard from people who have seen it, they've liked it so far. That's good enough for me. I want people to like things and enjoy things on the merit of what's there, instead of these hacktivists throwing a fit about what isn't there. Like, this could be a perfect 10 out of 10 show. It probably isn't, but it could be a perfect 10 out of 10 show, but it's not good enough if it's not gay. Like, that's pretty wild. As for the family, instead of showing how in the midst of being the biggest weirdos in town, enjoying murder and torture and watching things die, the Addams family still love each other deeply. We get them bristling as they try to spend time together, far more interested in the legacy of Nevermore Academy than the other Addamses. Well, again, this isn't an Addams Family show, it's a Wednesday show, and none of this even really correlates to the original point, which is the big emotional hole at the center of Wednesday. Like, basically, they're trying to justify well, if you're not going to have the Addams Family be the Addams Family and be there as a family, you can at least give us Gay Wednesday. Like, okay, that's not really good enough, but this is the article that really blew me away, right? From Total Film, the smarter take on movies. Wednesday's Season 2's biggest missed opportunity is that it overlooks Enid and the fandom's #1 ship in the process. The #1 ship. It cares so goddamn much about shipping culture. Guys, I'm gonna be real. I don't give a fuck about shipping culture. And I've been in the anime community long enough to know, for some reason, people do. Opinion in a show that celebrates otherness so freely, passing up an opportunity for thrilling representation is a big mistake. I'm gonna need you guys to pick a side here. Do you want your global homo agenda to like be recognized as no big deal and normal, or not? Because at this point, if it's celebrating otherness so freely and you want global homo to be the norm, why not celebrate other kinds of otherness? You know, like being a fucking vampire or a werewolf or somebody obsessed with death, murder, the macabre to the point where she would put piranhas in a goddamn swimming pool to effectively transgender probably some of the boys that were swimming in it. But again, let's get into it. Wednesday Addams is back in Season 2 of Netflix's most watched English language show, and at first, it's business as usual. But then the real drive of Season 2 comes into focus when Wednesday suddenly sees a vision of her best friend's death, and it looks like Wednesday herself is responsible, or soon will be. Losing your best friend is never fun. Peak writing there, guys. Peak writing. Not even for someone as ghoulish as Wednesday, but Enid Sinclair is more than just a friend or a roommate for that matter. No, she's not. In fact, that's why people are so upsetty spaghetti, because she's not more than just a friend. Guys, at least at the current juncture of the show, from my understanding, Enid's just a friend. And guess what? That's fine. That's what they should be. You don't need to fucking gay up Wednesday for more representation purposes. And besides, it's a teen drama and it's on Netflix. I'm sure at some point or another, your gay quota will be met. You'll just still be upsetty spaghetti, because it's not Wednesday herself that's the raging homo. Early in Wednesday's Season 2, the Addams Family icon declares that her favorite passions are torment and humiliation. But as Winclair shippers know already, god damn it, they've got a fucking ship name. Winclair. Get it? Wednesday and Enid Sinclair. Oh, it's so fucking stupid. Both these passions pale in comparison to Wednesday's love for Enid herself. What? Why should we care what Winclair's shippers think? Why should you care what any shippers think? Like, gay or not. Look, if you're an aspiring artist or writer or director, filmmaker, whatever it need be, let me offer you, this will be the best advice you could get from anyone. I swear to God, I promise I will stake my channel on it. Do not listen to shippers. Now back to the article. Even before Season 1 arrived, Winclair shippers immediately made themselves known. See, and that's the problem. Even before Season 1 arrived, these shippers were out here just like, look, scissoring. Like, how can you even know if you want the characters shipped if you don't know anything about the fucking characters? Just want them to be gay. You just want gay shit. And that's fine. But then make your own gay shit. Upon seeing the connection that Wednesday shared with her roomie in early trailers, you don't see the connection, at least not the full scope of it in the trailers, because they're just that, trailers. The pair being opposites to each other certainly helped. Yeah, best friends can have that too, you know. And so can straight couples, you know, opposites attract sort of thing. Because you know what they say about opposites, even if the show itself never made Winclair canon. That's not to say there isn't any truth to the idea that Wednesday and Enid are more than just roommates. Yes, there is. Like there is literally nothing to indicate they're more than friends/roommates. When you say, that's not to say there isn't any truth to the idea, well, there isn't any truth to the idea. That's why it's not real. That's why it's a ship. That's why fans want it. And let me tell you, if your fanhood is based on the idea of these two characters banging because they're gay, if you're gonna quit being a fan because there's not enough gayness from Wednesday herself as a character in it, then you aren't actually a fucking fan. Once the first season of Wednesday actually dropped, countless clues hinted at something more between them. And look, we're not going to read this whole article. We're not. Let me show you how long it is. Let's just scroll. We're scrolling. Right, here we go. It stops here. So, all of this is them bitching that Wednesday isn't gay. At one point, trying to use a fanfic repository, AO3. I don't even know what that is. I don't want to know what that is. Winclair is the ship most written about, with 7,700 plus works currently on site, far outnumbers any actual canon relationships in the show. Okay, so all I'm hearing is there's 7,700 retarded degenerates that don't care about the merits of the show itself, or the characters, or the Addams Family canon, or fanbase at large, because more representation means more to them. Thankfully, IGN is getting roasted, like roasty toasty on X under this article. We got my boy the Gourd King. So you seem mad that she and her friend aren't a couple of dykes. Yes, that's exactly what they're mad about. Oh no, they aren't scissor sisters. We know like now, IGN. Notice he says now, because remember, IGN did like season 1. And again, I liked season 1. Sometimes I can agree with the enemy. We got Master of the TDS here, just quoting the part that I quoted, you know, the entirely platonic relationships, then the nice coping and seething meme. Let's see, what else we got here? The article literally complains that the two female leads are straight. Hey, IGN, it's okay to be straight. So the dude who wrote this article is upset that two underage female characters aren't in a sexual relationship. Pornography has done a number on these pervs. I don't even think it's pornography. I think it's, again, people want so fucking badly. And I say people, I don't mean normal folks like you and I. I mean these deranged New York City or LA journalists that think the entire world should be a representation of these incredibly freaky niche corners of said world. They're straight women who have a friendship. What is hard to understand about that? Which is good, fine. Look, it's been my experience. Most women have trouble maintaining friendships with other women anyway, because women secretly hate each other. I like the idea of it showing positive female friendship, even if one of them is with Wednesday, who, you know, canonically doesn't really value that stuff. But again, it's fine. Yup, neither does anything Marvel or DC lately, but that won't stop you from giving glowing reviews. Did Netflix not pay up for a better review? As an interesting point. Marvel and DC don't understand the source material at all, but you don't see Marvel didn't understand the source material of Spider-Man. No. It doesn't matter how bad the Spider-Man movies are, or the Iron Man, or the Blacked in America, or whatever. It doesn't matter how bad those movies are. IGN slurped that shit up. I mean, it's fair to question whether Netflix is paying them for the review, or now not paying them. Well, we want to goon all over Gay Wednesday, but it won't make her gay. You're nothing but that group of angry porn gooners. And like, this goes on and on. I could show you a million more tweets. I could honestly probably dredge up other articles. I wasn't even looking for articles for this, by the way. These just popped up on my timeline on my Google News feed. It wasn't like, all right, I want to make a video about Gay Wednesday and people complaining. Let's see if we can find the articles. No, the articles came to me just normally scrolling through X and scrolling through Google. These people are deranged. They're insane. They're psychotic. Like, you get so much representation all the time in all these shows, and last I checked, Wednesday was good. Wednesday, the first season at least, was a good show. Hopefully season 2 is also good, because like I said, I haven't seen it yet. Netflix kind of has what I call the season 2 curse. But if season 2 is also good, dude, just shut the fuck up. Just talk about the show. Don't make some objectively incorrect statement such as they failed to understand the source material when your biggest gripe is that Wednesday isn't gay, when that is not, in fact, part of the source material. It is insanity. And while I know a lot of people say woke is dead, woke is dying, I agree. It is, for the most part, dying. It's going the way of the dinosaur. But you got these last few bastions of what the fuckery out there just still trying to keep it alive on the life support that it is. And I think it's still important to call it out when it happens, especially for shit that I am a fan of, like the Addams Family, and in this particular instance, this show Wednesday. Anyway, I hope the second season is just as good as the first. Frankly, I hope it's better than the first, because while the first season surprised me, it's still only like about a 7, and I mean a real 7, not an IGN 7. So if I can get a 7.5 or an 8 from season 2, or even if it dips in quality just a little bit, say it's a 6, I'd still consider that a W, because at least there's some sort of consistency, or it hasn't gotten marginally worse or marginally better. It's really not much to ask for. And what can I say? I'm a big fan of Jenna Ortega. But these are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not usually about the Addams Family or just gay Netflix, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles that we go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos we react to on the Friday night live streams, and of course get involved with over 200 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity, but real diversity, diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.